Tucker Carlson recently assembled a group of like-minded apostate MAGA conservatives.
I think everybody should see the midterms. We're talking about a battle for civilization. The thin veneer of civilization is being torn off. So what made this country and what will save it is it's not a demand, it's not an edict, it's not a requirement for you to be married and have a nuclear family, but you have to have the vast majority of the population following that, and that would leave room for people to be single or never have that's fine. But if you attack the nuclear family as abnormal, and the left does, then you have no civilization.
That's exactly right. And that's what is happening right now in America. The nuclear family, the husband, the wife, the kid, the dog, the picket fence. That used to be a dream. And right now, it is the number one target for the left. Because a nuclear family, it brings some order, it brings some discipline whenever the dad is in the home, when the mom is in the home, when the families come together and have dinner. And if we can destroy that, if we can destroy the foundation for a family, then we can get you to do whatever we want. And Victor Davis Hanson breaks this all down.
If you think you have to be tolerant to people with psychological problems that sleep on the street, but if you think Los Angeles defecating, there was an article about 100 and something pounds of human waste, 180,000 pounds that they removed from MacArthur Park in Los Angeles.
Oh my God, are you kidding?
No, they listed
180,000 pounds of fecal matter from a park. Is this starting to make sense now? Where's all the money going in California to help the homeless population?
So the homeless, that is medieval. That is medieval. If you think 10,000 people coming across the border to swarm the social services of the poor U.S. citizens is compassionate, without any audit at a time when people are being forced to wear masks, to self-isolate. And
yeah, it's funny how nobody coming across the southern border during that whole time when Fauci was putting out all the information, nobody was turned away for not wearing an N95. It was, come on in, here's some money, here's a place to stay. But at the same time, you or your government, our government, put these totalitarian laws in place against us. And I feel right now we're just now getting back to some semblance of normalcy 5 years later.
And to get experimental mRNA vaccinations, if you think that's moral, that's anti-civilizational.
Right.
And so this party is a Jacobin, 1960s, Symbolese, Liberation, Weatherman, all that conglomeration of anti-civilizational stuff. And when you see the agenda of the Democratic Socialists, I mean, it's very funny to have these young kids start mouthing off, well, we don't like the name president.
Yeah, here's where he really gets into what bothers me. And that's why I've got one country, one constitution. The Democrat Socialist Party is taking over the actual Democrat Party. The Democrat Party right now is, I would say, they're the emperor with no robe. They have nothing. They are out of moves. And right now, the Democrat Party candidates, if they don't embrace this Democrat socialism, push from Ilhan Omar, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, all of these people, if they don't embrace this, they're going to get thrown away. They have no choice. And politicians do not like to be left out of the trendy thing. And the trendy thing is socialism right now. 58% of Democrats said they prefer socialism over capitalism. Think about it.
We're going to get rid of that. And, the Senate, that's a wealthy person. That's not fair. We're just going to get rid of that. And then we'll expand the House, and that'll be just like a radical Athenian democracy. Whatever they say is the law. And, of course, we'll get rid of the Supreme Court, we'll get rid of the president, and they have all these ideas, and you think, do you think that Hamilton and Jefferson and all these people died for you people? You think that we went 250 years and we fought everywhere from Iwo Jima all the way to Belleau Wood to Gettysburg so that you people could just walk in, many of them from first or second generation immigration?
He's going off now. But he's so right. There are men and women buried across this country in national cemeteries. There are men and women buried in unmarked graves across the Western Territory. They went to California in a wagon. Some of them made it, some of them didn't. There are dead bodies scattered all around this country for where we're at now, to get us to where we're at now. And you think just over 6 or 8 years, some of these Democrat socialists are going to come in with the blue hair and the Starbucks cups and the nose rings, and we are going to just give up our sovereignty, give up our livelihood, give up our history, give up our foundation, our morality, give up our Constitution because it makes you uncomfortable? You got another thought coming.
Lecturing us. Oh, I think your system is no good. And I've decided that when we take power, we're going to get rid of the Constitution, and the founders are all racist, and and we're just going to say, okay, we got your. No, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
This is a party that's satanic.
It is,
Victor. When you think about the homeless, this is a huge mental health crisis that the Democrats, and I would say the Democrat socialists, would prefer these people to live this excruciating, crazed life.
The Democrat Party needs victims. They rely on victims. They rely on no answers. They rely on no solutions. If they had solutions, then the game would be over. The Democrat Party relies on this. They rely on chaos. And as long as they can keep the chaos going, whether it's Los Angeles, whether it's Minnesota, Minneapolis, New York City with Mamdani, Chicago with all the gang violence, whether they can keep that all going down at the southern border, chaos is what they rely on. Lawlessness. They are the party of anarchy. And some of you libertarians might not realize this, but the Libertarian Party was built on the same thing. This anarchy. Barry Goldwater, go look it up. That's how the Libertarian Party was built. It was people that were fed up with the Democrat Party. There were too many rules in the Democrat Party, so they were like, yeah, let's just become anarchists. That's where we're at.
They're happy to have fentanyl come over the border and have hundreds of thousands of.
Yeah, and Tim Walz is worried more about a child can stay here. Think about a guy who his own niece.
He's so right. We have a governor in Minnesota that's more worried about the criminal and his making him comfortable than we are about getting rid of the criminals, getting rid of them. And this leads right into this next segment with Victor Davis Hanson. And he brings up the fact of the whole Tucker Carlson machine and the dangerous game that Tucker Carlson, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Kent, all of these people are playing. The Democrats are loving every bit of this. Tucker is playing right into their game.
Of what the Tucker Carlson group is, because historically it would suggest that all they want to do is make sure that Donald Trump's successor, J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio, loses the 2028 election. Tucker Carlson recently assembled a group of like-minded apostate MAGA conservatives for a meeting to discuss apparently a possible third party run in 2028. I think a lot of us were mystified for a lot of reasons. One of them was that third parties in American political history really have had no record in the modern era of ever.
Because They split the foundation. And typically the people that peel away from the foundation of the two-party system are conservatives. They are Republicans. Typically, that's the way that happens. Democrats very rarely leave their camp. Blue no matter who. That's the phrase. Republicans splinter off. It weakens the base. And that's how we wound up with Bill Clinton. If it wasn't for Ross Perot, we may never have had the Clinton machine. May have never had Hillary Clinton being Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton being, a senator, Hillary Clinton running for president. We may have never had that. There's the argument to be made. And what could it do coming up? Well, Victor's going to tell you what it's going to do.
They do affect the election in some cases, but that's only to hurt the party that is more ideologically akin to the third party run. For example, in 1912, William Howard Taft, the incumbent president, was challenged by his predecessor, Theodore Roosevelt, who didn't like the first term of Taft. He created the Bull Moose Third Party. What was the effect of that? He split the conservative Republican vote, and thereby he elected one of the most liberal progressives in the history of the United States, contrary to both his views and Taft's, Woodrow Wilson.
Can you imagine what may happen if the conservative Republican base is split? And this opens the door to someone like AOC, Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, Hakeem Jeffries. Think about it. That's what happened in 1912, I believe he said. Theodore Roosevelt, one of the most progressive presidents ever. I still don't think we've recovered from what he did, establishing welfare and food stamps. Think about it. If we could get rid of that and put some efficiency back into our government, some checks and balances in there, that the only people that get these sort of subsidies are truly disabled people, people that are handicapped, old people that can't work. But it's an entire industry of able-bodied people faking whatever they can to get whatever they can. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till the government takes care of you. That's the real phrase here. And Tucker Carlson is playing with fire.
Ross Perot was a conservative. He said he was, from Texas. So was George H.W. Bush, up for re-election in 1992 against Bill Clinton. What did Perot do? He ran a third-party ticket. He was angry at the Bushes. He felt they were not correct on some conservative issues, debt and other things. And he succeeded in ensuring that Bill Clinton, a Democrat, would win the election with less than 50% of the vote.
Less than 50% of the vote. Less than half of America voted for Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton won. The majority didn't get it right. The majority was split. Can you imagine what could happen? Tucker Carlson runs, J.D. Vance runs, Marco Rubio runs, fill in the blank. They run. They steal votes from each other. They beat each other up because nobody wants to talk bad about Ilhan Omar. Nobody wants to talk bad about AOC. Nobody wants to call out Hakeem Jeffries. And while they're arguing, Hakeem Jeffries, AOC, slips right in. The White House becomes the outhouse, is what I would say. That's the real problem here, guys. And I'm going to show you somebody else that's a real problem. This guy right here is the part of the real problem. This is Alex Jones. Alex is always complaining. Nothing's ever good enough for Alex. Well, listen what he says here. He's now the victim.
Elon Musk is the free speech trailblazer, not just in America, but worldwide. So with the huge censorship we've seen in the last 48 hours, I don't believe he's behind it. That's why I'm firing the bat signal right now at Elon Musk to find out what the hell's going on X and to correct this problem. We're counting on you, Elon. Any way you slice it, there is massive censorship happening on X right now. Whether it's intentional or by accident, the effect is a wet blanket across the board. Starting Friday afternoon,
A wet blanket. So Alex isn't getting the impressions that he wants on X. So he immediately goes to it's censorship. It's Elon Musk's fault. It's the platform's fault. I think, Alex, people are fed up with you being crazy, supporting crazy ideology, calling for the impeachment of the president of the United States. That's why I think people are ignoring you. I don't think it's the algorithm. I think people are tired of you crapping on America. And you've done it for a long damn time. So long that we've kind of figured you out, man. Everything's an emergency. Everything is the sky is falling. The world is about to end. Nothing good is ever going to happen in America. Everything's bad. Got to keep you scared. Got to keep you coming back. Got to keep you panicking. Right, Alex?
they changed their rules and algorithm. They claim to allow external links, not penalize people. Great, but that's not what this is. It is taking us from hundreds of thousands or millions of live viewers to a couple thousand. Most people that are flooding us with private messages and emails say they can't even click on it and see the feed.
People are fed up. The American people are fed up with your garbage. I want to say thanks for tuning in. Support the channel. Hit the like, subscribe. If you want to donate, there's a couple of barcodes up here at the top. Victor Davis Hanson lays it out. We're not giving up our country as easy as the Democrat socialists want it. Tucker Carlson could very well split the conservative base, opening the door to an AOC presidency. And Alex Jones is suddenly the victim again. It's like this is deja vu. See you in the next one.